All right, everyone, let's talk citations. So I know it's not the most riveting topic, but it's something you need to know, and we're going to talk about it right now. The first thing that you're seeing in front of you is something that I'm going to have in your folder for writing, and it has to do with when you cite something. This is pretty oversimplified, but I think it'll really help you with deciding when you should cite something and when you shouldn't. So you can see here some yes or no questions. Is it someone else's words? Yes, quote it and cite it. Is it someone else's ideas, research, statistics, anything like that? If it is, cite it. Anything that is not your own thought based on what you read, some other research someone else did, you cite it. If it's your own ideas, do not cite it. You can see that same kind of thing here. Did you think of it? Yep, don't cite it. If you didn't think of it, is it common knowledge? What that means is that is it in more than two sources. So, for example, the fact that Pearl Harbor was bombed on December 7th, 1941 is common knowledge. You do not need to cite that. Any source on Pearl Harbor will tell you that. Don't worry about it. Okay? Don't cite it. But if it's something that's unique to your source, unique research that that person did, or a thought they had or a conclusion they made, then you cite it. Okay, so once you decide you need to cite it, I have a resource for you that I really like, and that is the OWL at Purdue. And you can see it comes up for me right away because I use it so often. You can use any citation machine. This is the one, or formatting guide. This is the one I like. I think it's user friendly. We're using MLA. So you go to that, and the first page that comes up will just show you some general guidelines. All right, about the format of the paper, what your paper should physically look like, the first page. But really what I'd like to talk to you about is citations, so we're going to skip that for now. Okay, so you can go to basic formats for an MLA works cited, and it gives you some good things here to kind of read through, and I trust that you guys can read really well and see all these things. So it'll talk to you about some of the basic rules, how to space it, capitalization, you can see punctuation, how to list, always in alphabetical order, and then if you don't know the author, how to list it there. You guys can see that all on there. Okay, so let's say that you have your works cited page. Okay, so creating a works cited, and that would be centered, but you can fill all that formatting. And you have your book that you're going to be citing. So let's say you're citing my book, which doesn't exist, but let's say that it does. How to Teach Everything by Ms. Kagan. I think that's a good book. That I italicize that. Then you have the rest of your info here, right? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, and then let's do one more. That would be a book. Let's do one more. That would be something like an article that you didn't know the author of. So, like from a database, maybe. Then you would start with the name of the article. How to teach everything. Let's say. Oops, period. And then all of the necessary information. Or perhaps it is just the the website itself or the name of the something, a book itself. So like the OWL at Purdue, right? And then whatever you got from that. Okay, so those would be your works cited areas. Okay, what you would do for the works cited page, and then you can read how to format that. But now let's say you need an in-text citation because you looked at my guide that I showed you before, right? Whoops, this fun thing, and you decided you have a fact and you want to cite it. And you need to figure out how to do that. Okay? So what you should do for your in-text citations, and let's see where we are here. There we go. Couldn't find that for a second. Your in-text citations is you. There we go. Okay. You can see some of the basic rules here, okay? And what you can see is that it kind of depends, it kind of depends on how you're writing your citation itself, okay? Generally, you put the author's last name plus the page number, okay? If you have no known author, then you would put whatever is first in your citation. So here is the name of the article, for example, because that would be the citation. So, for example, going back to our fake little works cited here, let's say then we need to do the in-text citations for these very same periodicals, all right? So if I was saying, in her very excellent book, Nina Kagan discusses that teaching is an art. So you quoted me, put a comma, parentheses, Kagan, the page you got it from, let's say it's a really long book, period. Now, and what they even show in the OWL is because you already said my name right here, you don't have to say it again here. You could just put the page number. I prefer that you put the whole name. It just makes it easier to find, but either way would be acceptable. That would be for the first one here. Now, let's say you don't have an author and you want to cite this article, How to Teach Everything. So let's say that you're not quoting me, but you're using a statistic, okay? So you're saying 34% of teachers think they can teach any subject. Again, parentheses, that's not your own thought, it's not your own statistic, but it's not a quote either. It's your own sentence, but it's not your own information. You still have to cite it. How to teach everything, end quote, period. So that what is first in your works cited is always what is listed first in your in-text citation. So that if I want to go back and see where this is in your works cited page, it's really easy because it's listed in alphabetical order. I'll be able to find it right away. Okay, same thing for our last citation there, right? You have whatever your thing is that you're citing, right? The OWL at Purdue, period. So it's always the very, very first thing listed. And that's how you do your in-text citations, and that's how you do your works cited page just in general. Once again, don't forget the OWL at Purdue, great resource for you to use. We didn't even scratch the surface of all the different things that they have on there that you can be using. Make sure that you use this list very thoughtfully so that you can know if you're using books, periodicals, electronic sources. One quick note about electronic sources, and it will tell you this. The URLs are no longer required in MLA, but it does tell you that if your teacher requires it, you can put a shortened version of your URL at the end. I would like you to do that, please. That I would like. So make sure that you guys are doing that. And then make sure to think about this when you're deciding whether to cite or not. All right, good luck. Let me know in class if you have any other questions.